Ali grew up in a small town in Pakistan, where every evening he would sit on the rooftop of his modest home, staring at the sky filled with stars, and dream about a different set of lights, the bright lights of America. For him, America was not just another country, it was a dreamland, a promise of riches, comfort, and a life free of worries. His relatives who lived abroad would often visit during holidays, wearing branded clothes, carrying the latest phones, and casually handing out dollars like they were nothing. Those moments carved a deep image in Ali's heart. He would look at his father, a schoolteacher who struggled to pay the bills, and whisper to himself that one day he would change everything. Ali wasn't the smartest student in school, but he was determined. He spent years applying for opportunities, sending applications, and praying for a chance. When the day finally came, and his student visa was approved, he felt like the world had opened its doors for him. The entire Mohalla came to his house to congratulate his family. His mother's eyes were filled with tears of pride, and his father patted his back with a rare smile. Ali promised them that soon he would send money, build a new house, and give them the life they always deserved. As he packed his bags, he folded a white kurta that his mother stitched for him and kept it at the top. It was his reminder of where he came from. The airplane ride felt surreal. As the plane soared into the clouds, Ali pressed his forehead against the window, his heart racing. He whispered to himself, "This is it. My life is about to begin." When the plane landed in New York, Ali stepped into a world that felt like a movie. The airport was massive, the escalators, the shiny floors, the diversity of people, it was overwhelming. Outside, the air was cold, sharper than anything he had felt back home. The cars looked new and polished, the taxis lined up in perfect order, and the skyline of New York took his breath away. For the first few days, Ali was intoxicated by the city. He roamed around Times Square, amazed by the gigantic screens flashing advertisements and lights that turned night into day. He clicked pictures and videos, sending them to his family. Their replies filled him with pride. "Wow, Ali, you are living like a king now," his cousin texted. Ali laughed, believing it was true. But the illusion started to fade quicker than he expected. His first challenge was finding a place to live. In his imagination, he thought he could rent a small but cozy apartment, but the reality was brutal. The rent was so high that his savings began to disappear almost immediately. With little choice, he moved into a small, overcrowded apartment shared by 4 other immigrants. The living room had been converted into a bedroom with thin curtains as dividers. Sometimes, he had to sleep on a mattress on the floor while the noise of traffic outside kept him awake. The smell of reheated food lingered in the apartment, mixed with the frustration of men who worked long hours but earned barely enough. Then came the job hunt. Ali had completed his degree in Pakistan, but here it seemed worthless. Employers demanded local experience and references he did not have. Weeks went by with rejection emails piling up. His savings dwindled, and anxiety kept him awake at night. Finally, one of his roommates helped him secure a job in a restaurant. It wasn't glamorous. He wasn't serving customers in a suit and tie. He was in the kitchen, scrubbing dishes, his hands soaked in hot water and chemicals that burned his skin. The steam from the kitchen made him sweat constantly, his back ached from bending, and the clang of plates never seemed to end. By the time his shift was over, Ali felt like collapsing. But when he held those dollar bills at the end of the week, he reminded himself that he was moving forward. Still, the reality gnawed at him. Every month, rent swallowed a huge chunk of his paycheck. Bills, transportation, groceries, everything was expensive. He tried to save, but his pockets felt empty. Back home, his relatives believed he was swimming in wealth. They would ask for favors. Send us an iPhone, you can easily afford it there. Or, why don't you buy a car, life must be easy for you in America. Ali wanted to scream the truth, that his life was anything but easy. But instead, he stayed silent, keeping the illusion alive. What stung more than the money was the loneliness. In Pakistan, his evenings were filled with laughter, tea with friends, neighbors dropping by unannounced, the warmth of family dinners. Here in America, silence became his companion. His roommates worked different shifts, and everyone was too tired to talk. Meals were often eaten alone, a plate of microwaved leftovers while staring at the phone screen. Ali scrolled through pictures of his family, the sound of their voices echoing in his mind. He missed his mother's cooking, his father's advice, the playful fights with his siblings. Sometimes he would wander into Times Square, surrounded by thousands of people, and yet feel completely invisible. The city lights that once dazzled him now reminded him of how dark his heart felt. Winter brought its own struggles. Ali had never experienced such cold before. The icy wind pierced through his thin jacket, and the snow made every step a challenge. His shoes soaked easily, and his fingers turned numb while waiting for the bus. Back in Pakistan, winter meant cozy blankets and steaming cups of chai. Here, it meant long commutes in freezing weather, heavy coats he could barely afford, and the ache of homesickness growing sharper each day. Cultural differences made life even harder. Ali tried to fit in at work, but his accent made him a target of jokes. Some colleagues ignored him, while others mocked his mispronunciations. The food felt strange, the holidays unfamiliar. He missed Eid with his family, the sound of children laughing, the smell of freshly cooked biryani filling the air. On Eid morning in America, he went to the mosque alone, greeted strangers with Eid Mubarak, and then returned to his empty apartment to heat leftovers. The day that once brought joy now brought only tears. Years began to pass. Slowly, Ali climbed up the ladder. From the restaurant kitchen, he moved to a cashier's counter, then later managed to secure a clerical job in a small office. He bought a used car, rented a slightly better room, and sent more money home. To his family, he was successful. They proudly told everyone that their son in America was earning in dollars. But inside, Ali felt hollow. He had missed his sister's wedding, his grandfather's funeral, and countless birthdays. His parents grew older, their hair turning gray, while Ali's life slipped away in endless shifts and lonely nights. America had given him dollars, but it had stolen time, time he could never get back. One night, Ali stood on a bridge overlooking Manhattan. The skyscrapers sparkled, the roads glowed with headlights, and billboards flashed in every direction. To the world, this city was a symbol of dreams, hope, and success. But as Ali stared at it, his eyes filled with tears. He thought about the countless immigrants like him, working endless hours, sacrificing their health, their youth, and their families, just to survive under these lights. He realized the truth that had taken him years to understand. The lights of America shine brightest only when you don't live under them. From far away, they seem magical, full of opportunity. But up close, they blind you to the struggles and shadows they conceal. Today, Ali still lives in America. He still works hard, still sends money home, and still posts the occasional picture under the bright lights. But now he knows better. The American dream is not free. It demands sacrifices, loneliness, exhaustion, and a constant battle to keep up. The lights are beautiful, yes, but behind every glowing tower and every shining street, there are thousands of stories like his, stories of immigrants who gave everything just to survive. And so, whenever someone back home asks him, "Bye, how is America?" Must be amazing, right? Ali smiles softly, hides his tired eyes, and replies, "Yes, it's amazing. But every light has its shadow."